that's really bad, it really hurts you or breaks your trust. It's a feeling of being deeply, deeply hurt or deceived by someone very close to you. We can also say, well, betrayal can come in various forms, such as dishonesty, infidelity, or disloyalty. And this comes with effects that can be really profound. You know, it can impact your trust, your self esteem, and overall your well being, you know, especially if you have been the one that was betrayed. It can affect your mental well being if it comes from someone you really, really hold dear. So I give us an example. Mr. A and Mr. B, they are friends. They've been friends from the uni days. And whilst in school, you know, the struggle for survival, everybody hustling, trying to get an education, trying to cater for themselves, you know, the basic amenities or what have you. So Mr. A and Mr. B decided to come together and they thought of a business idea and they came up with that idea and they started, you know, going about things whilst they're in uni. And, you know, uni takes about 3-4 years sometimes. And they started this, you know, they had their small first contract and things was good. They were able to make profit and they split it 50-50. Everybody was happy. They're like, wow, this thing is kind of picking up. Let's do more, you know, whilst we study so we can fend for ourselves. So Mr. A and Mr. B just carried on. They invested back their money into that and they got even another contract whilst in school. And, you know, just went on and on like that. They were kind of progressing, making profit, splitting it 50-50, everybody going home happy at the end of each contract. So along the way, they finished uni and they have their own small network groups. They had, you know, people connecting business, small groups, big groups, and what have you. And after uni, they decide to go in full force, you know, rather than looking for a job, because all that they've done so far has been very fruitful. So they came together and started business. They take one contract after another. They were successful. You know, things were going good and they are having this bond. They could trust one another. Oh, thank you, Sikina. Always thank you for joining as well. Thank you. Let's like the live. Let's share to others as well so they can benefit from the talk today. So as I was giving an example, Mr. A and Mr. B, they now finish uni and they're full force into the business, you know, spreading their tentacles, getting networks, getting contracts, getting profits, splitting it 50-50. And then along the way, Mr. B had always been more of the brain behind the ideas, you know, how to make things work. Thank you so much, Sequina. Thanks for liking the live. Let's share to other people as well. And a time came and this big contract, you know, came their way and they're like, oh, we can do this. We're going to make loads of profits. And then Mr. A just thought, this person, Mr. B, he's always the brain behind this. You know, the greed came in and he just felt, no. And Mr. A went behind and met with the company and he brought some other friends that said, oh, we can do this and all. And he sidetracked Mr. B. He did not allow him to, you know, to be aware of what he was doing. And both of them knew about this contract, you know, but Mr. A went behind and gave them a good deal. We can do this even at a lesser fee or whatever, you know, and the company trusted them because they've always been successful at the businesses they've been doing. And the company gave it to Mr. A and he went quickly and executed with his other friends, you know, and then came back with this big, huge profits. And then Mr. B was wondering what's going on. This company, they're not getting back to us. Mr. A keeps saying, no, don't worry, I'm on it. At the end of the day, he got the contract, sidetracked Mr. B, finished the contract, got the profits, interest, everything. He wasn't ready to share with Mr. B. And somehow Mr. B was feeling funny. Along the way, Mr. B found out that he had been sidetracked by Mr. A. He was so devastated. Imagine the betrayal. This is somebody you have worked with for years. And now this business you've been waiting, you know, racking your head how to go about the business ideas and to executing it and things like that. And he just felt betrayed. And this was how they split. Everybody had to go their separate ways because Mr. B felt so betrayed. He was really hurt. Beauty, thanks for joining. And Mr. A, like, oh, he made all the profit. What, he can stand by himself. So he thinks. So imagine Mr. B. Imagine how he would feel. He also has responsibilities. He needed the money, to cater for one or two things in his life. And now being left out of it, he felt so betrayed. And mainly, really, that was the end of that relationship. It encroached into their personal relationship they've been building since the days of their uni. So imagine that feel. If it was you, how would you feel? So I gave that example because as I'll be talking about the betrayal, I want us to have a better understanding. In case you just find yourself, you've just gone through that. Somebody sidetracked you at a deal or at a business, at a contract or something like that. How do you deal with that feel or feeling of betrayal? It's a very sad thing, I must say. It's a very, very devastating thing. But you don't want to stay in that state of devastation. You want to move on from there, because the truth really about life is other opportunities will come. And if you don't heal from that betrayal, you might be able to you might find it difficult to move on or do other businesses as you ought to. So the purpose of the talk is to really help us understand the nature of betrayal, explore its effects, and discuss strategies for healing and moving forward. Like I said, you have to move forward from there. Other opportunities will come. Fine, it's devastating what has happened. It's sad what has happened, but it shouldn't be the end of life. We shake it off somehow and we move on. It's painful. It could be very hurting. Like, words cannot even describe some feelings when you've been betrayed. Thank you, official Rosemary. Thank you so much for joining. Let's tap on our screen as we share also to other people. And when we're talking about understanding the nature of betrayal, we need to know that betrayal is a breach of trust or loyalty by someone very close to you. And that's why it feels so much painful when the betrayal is coming from someone very, very close to you, very dear to you. And there are different forms of betrayal, such as infidelity. Could be that, it could be dishonesty, disloyalty, and just like the example that I gave, disloyalty, dishonesty, trying to play a smart one on a very dear friend. Omar, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. If you're just joining in, this is Insight with FunmiRoyal. I'm just giving a talk on the topic betrayal. And like I said, we'll be looking at what it means, which I've gracefully defined to us, and the effects of it, and what can we do to move on so that we're not stuck in that place. Even mentally, it can affect us, so we need to be mindful. So I also need to let us know that there are motives, like I said, behind betrayal. These motives can include insecurity. Mr. A was feeling insecure. That was why he felt the need to sidetrack Mr. B. Selfishness can be a motive for somebody getting betrayed. He was selfish. He wanted a whole profit to himself, and he sidetracked Mr. B. And also other external factors that can contribute to that makes that betrayal so grievous, and it has emotional impact on the one that has been betrayed. When somebody hurts you, you feel it the most. The person that has hurt you is not feeling anything because they are the ones that have hurt you. You can feel sadness and even depression when betrayed by someone you hold dear to your heart. So this will lead to a whole lot of things which we will look into now. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, I hope you feel all right at the end of this talk today. That is the whole idea, to help one another, especially with our mental well-being. So when one is betrayed, it can lead to a lot of things, which I'll mention a number. There's so many, but I'll just limit it to a few numbers so that we can understand better. And also, like I said, it's best to always self-reflect. Have you been betrayed recently? Did you deal with it, or you just left it at that? Thank you, Chidima. Thanks for joining. Thank you for liking the live. Yeah, thank you so much. So, effects of betrayal. Betrayal causes an individual psychological, emotional, and interpersonal effects. And some common reactions of betrayal could be emotional distress. Just like I said, J Boy, I see you. Thank you so much. Emotional distress. There is no how